Thanks for listening to GYST.
You're listening to Get Your Shit Together with Adina and Diane, a digestible health and fitness show for women.
Real quick, the content of this podcast is intended for general information only and is not medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Chat with your healthcare provider before making changes. Okay? Okay, cool.
I think they got it. Let's jump right into this week's episode.
Hey, babies.
Hello.
Do you remember us? Do we remember how to do this?
Wait, I actually think my mic's a little loud. Let me just...
Mine is too, but I also was
turn
aggressive.
It down a hair. Well, it should be able to account for that because sometimes we get aggressive.
Aggressive and exciting. Have you seen that meme circulating? It's like, I would love to have soft friends, but I talk too aggressively.
No, I didn't. That's funny though.
But I feel that. Like, I want to be the chill, grounding friend. And I actually do have some of those. They ground me. But yeah, I just can't keep my mouth shut. And it's like, maybe that's why we're here, you know?
That's exactly why we're here.
So get ready because we have months to catch you up on Wow Wee Wah.
That feels really overwhelming to me. Like
Weird, right?
I know we have an outline, but I'm still just like, where to go from here? Well, first we want to say you guys are the best, and we appreciated all of your DMs and popping into our question boxes, asking where the podcast is, telling us you miss us, you're catching up, are we coming back?
Yes.
We're back, baby.
Yeah, they made us emosh, and believe us, we wanted to be back sooner, but you know, there are things like Adina's raising 3 little people and we're running our businesses. There's all kinds of crazy banana stuff happening in the world. You know, there's just a few things happening.
Life be lifing, you know?
But we're like, we have our 100th episode, and that's kind of a big deal. So super excited. So we'll be catching up this episode. We have a lot to catch you up on, some personal and some play and some work and life and what to expect, and maybe something sweet, a little giveaway, something for you at the end. I don't know.
That sounds fun. I was actually just thinking, like, we'll see where this episode goes, but just based on the outline, I feel like if this is someone's first time listening to us, they're gonna be like, is this a pop culture and cooking show?
Don't they ask that every time? I mean, we do that every episode, don't we? But we're gonna have a lot of that to catch up on because yeah, we had to take it out of the group chat and share it with our gals.
I honestly feel like I was doing this weird thing where like I wasn't talking to you so much in the group chat about media because
You're just saving yourself, saving it.
It felt like it belonged on the podcast, but then we weren't podcasting, so I just feel like we haven't really talked about media consumption.
Yeah, you had to ask Donnie what you've been watching. Is it like all a blur?
I did, by the way, and he was amazing. He sent me this whole little table of everything we watched and if it was TV or movie.
Can you just like in post just plot him in here and it'll just be a video of Donnie with like some notes just going over everything.
Love that, actually.
Little segment. And you might hear Doug. So yeah, if you're new here, the grumbling is in fact not an old man snoring in the background, but my pug.
Kind of like an old man snoring.
Yeah, he is. He's 11. He's almost 12. Oh my goodness. So we have some things to talk about, what we've been consuming on the media front, on the food front, just all kinds of updates. And then in the episodes ahead, I know I have some exciting stuff for you, and we're looking forward to hearing what you want to hear too. We've also gotten those in the DMs. So yeah, so shall we get into the appetizers?
Shall we?
So I know there is all kinds of good stuff that I've cooked, things that we've eaten, but I guess I have to lead with one of the biggest updates that I have from the past few months, which was going on my bucket list trip of a lifetime to Japan and eating my way through the country. Oh my gosh, so much good food. Like my mouth waters just thinking about it. We absolutely loved it. So we were there in March for 3 weeks. And oh my gosh, incredible. So we'll start from the most frequently consumed.
She's gonna take us through a 3-week trip, ladies and gentlemen,
in 60 minutes, so buckle up. But I know some of you are saying that you've gone or you would like to go, or I mean, and you know this if you've been here for a little bit, like when I went to visit Adina or went to Italy, like it goes from work to like full on play Instagram. Like I know there's some people who are like, I'm gonna unplug and soak it up, and I'm like, you're coming with me. I'm gonna have 100 dots on my story a day. Like we're all going, and it's like the new live journal for me. It's a new way of documenting, and it's just, I don't know, I was sharing a lot over there.
It's so fun. And whenever you share those stories, I'm like, she really just should be vlogging. Why are you not vlogging?
Some people said that to me, and I'm like, listen, if there are any hotels or airlines that would like to sponsor me and just let me go on trips and tell you about food, that, like I'm open, I'm willing. So we really loved it. But we went, to back you up, went on a few-week trip to Japan. Have been looking forward to this for years. And we did, in part, a custom private tour because I started being a freak in the travel spreadsheets, as I do. And Neil's like, I don't want to stress about this. I just want to make the most of our time. We had downtime, free time, but we had a lot of tours. They took care of travel for us. A lot of our travel anxiety before going was navigating their train and subway system. But it ended up being a lot easier than we thought by the end. So we went to Tokyo, Hakone, which is where there are a lot of hot springs, Kyoto, Osaka, back to Tokyo. And I'll start with food first. And I heard that the 7-Elevens there were really, really good for inexpensive, great snacks and meals. Definitely not the 7-Eleven taquitos or junk that we have here, like Slurpees. Do you remember those?
Disgusting, like corn dogs.
Did you ever have those?
Sitting on that heater. Yeah, I used to love Slurpees. We have a 7-Eleven around the corner from me growing up, and like that was the source of many of my blood sugar issues.
I don't know how I would mix the Coca-Cola flavor with the Blue Raz.
Blue Raz.
Great choice.
That's a good mix.
That's
a good mix.
But in Japan, you can go and get onigiri. That was definitely our favorite snack. So it looks like a little triangle with seaweed with rice in the inside. And inside that rice is something like tuna mayonnaise, or there's different fish that you can get. And what I love about the packaging is when you open it, it's engineered in a way that when you pull the tabs is when the seaweed touches the rice. So it's not soggy. So it stays crisp until you open it, like mind-blowing. So that was a great snack. We got
Is that like when you
those.
pull the like thingy out and the battery activates?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like that, but with a little snack. So we would get that, the egg salad sandwiches someone told me about, and the egg yolks were bright orange, just so good. And so we would walk out of there with a raw milk matcha latte that is in this little cute container, and all kinds of great like lunch healthy snacks, and some ice cream or whatever, cookies, and it would be like $5 or less. It was so inexpensive and so good. So for everyday food, like just little quick snackies, can go to the 7-Eleven. But I'd say other favorites that we had in Japan were Kobe Wagyu beef that melted in my mouth in Kyoto and actually made me shed a tear. Have you ever had that experience with a steak?
So good, so beautiful, so luscious.
Like Neil looks over and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "This is the best steak I ever had." And what made it even better was the chef, like they're cooking it in front of us, right? And he's like, "Would you like garlic chips on your steak?" And I go, "Yes." And he takes out this gravy boat looking thing and just spoons them onto the, oh my gosh, it was so good.
So good.
So highly recommend. And it's kind of hard to make reservations there.
My mouth is watering.
Isn't it?
Wait, I'm hearing a little feedback. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
I'm not hearing it at all.
All right. Well, we're sorting out our tech after time away, but
yes. So
I'm just hearing some feedback. Hopefully you guys don't hear it on the recording. I'll do some editing magic and see what happens. But let's continue hearing about the steak that made Diane cry.
Yes, so that was incredible. It was kind of hard to make reservations in Japan, and usually for any other trip, I'm making reservations weeks out. But we just went to our concierge in the hotel, or we would just wander around because there are restaurants everywhere. But I did save a lot of places to Google Maps if anyone is planning a trip to Japan. And one of my final favorites or favorite experiences that we had in a couple of places were breakfast buffets. And you might remember if you heard our episode after I visited Adina in Tel Aviv, the Israeli breakfast situation.
So good.
Top tier. And so was having breakfast at our ryokan, which is like a hot spring traditional hotel. And so people would wake up at 6 a.m., 6:30 in the morning, and it was packed at the buffet because everyone wants to get there before they go soak at the hot springs. And they had everything from king crab legs, I was eating those at 6:30, to like Western breakfast, Japanese breakfast, cold brew on tap, just so much food, seafood. It was so good. And then we would just go chill in a hot spring and boil our little bodies in the bath.
Sounds lovely. Cold brew on tap sounds a little dangerous. Were you like twitching?
I didn't have it, but Neil loves his coffee and it doesn't really affect him. I was definitely into the matcha, which is my other favorite thing I've been consuming on the drink front, is matcha with my new set, and doing a little iced matcha, which I know you like too, right?
Iced matcha is supremely better than hot matcha.
It's like
Everyone
all I
knows
want.
that.
Yeah, and with cow milk. So yummy. Have you been seeing these videos where people are doing like a strawberry matcha? I'm curious to try.
I have seen that. I think it was originally a Starbucks thing, right? No?
Wouldn't surprise me. I thought it was a TikTok thing. Who knows which
No, I
one came
think
first?
it was a Starbucks menu item, like one of those like strawberry syrup or
And
something.
I'm such a brat because I like peak matcha, but also the matcha I got in Japan. And
I
they're
like
just so sweet.
what's the brand I like?
Jade Leaf?
Is it Peak?
I think you like Jade Leaf. Yeah.
Yes, I do like Jade Leaf. It's yummy.
I like Peak, but I don't like that I forget that it's on subscription and then I end up with 3 boxes plus what I brought back in our extra suitcase full of snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm eating. And then boring side is I'm a big cottage cheese gal now. Low-fat cottage cheese with tomatoes, sea salt. It's my snack.
I love that for you. Can't say I am also a cottage cheese girly.
Does it remind you of something?
No, that's you. You're the one who always talks about that. However, I just never liked the texture. Growing up, my mom used to make noodles and cottage cheese, and I ate that growing up.
Like a sauce?
No, you just like mix noodles with cottage cheese.
Oh, okay.
Let us know if you too grow up eating noodles and cottage cheese.
I hear the girls are blending it now. That's what someone said in my DMs.
Yes, people are doing all sorts of things with cottage cheese. It's a great source of protein, but I just don't like the texture of it.
It's a texture. It is a texture. My sex ed teacher ruined it for me.
Right.
And then I was like, protein.
I know. I tried.
Well, what have you been eating over there?
Well, what have I been eating? Did you see my recent Instagram stories, everybody? Because I made fresh sourdough croissants. And it did take me 2 to 3 days to make them, because that's how long it takes you to make a croissant.
Oh, really?
But they were worth it. They were delicious.
So are you going to start filling them with things?
No, I like a plain croissant.
A buttery, flaky. That lamination was very good.
Dude, so good. So good. It's a labor of love, really. Donnie's birthday was this week, and he loves croissants. I mean, who doesn't? But I made them for him. And the really exciting thing was that my kids kept it a secret for 2 days. Like, they helped me, and like I've never seen them keep a secret. So it was really fun. It was so cute. And they were delicious. This was my second time attempting croissants. And the first time, I'll tell you the 2 mistakes I made. Number 1, I was impatient. And I was being rebellious, my little rebellious self. You really need to follow the instructions.
Yeah, for baking.
You really do. You can't skip any steps. You can't shorten any rise times. Like, you really got to follow the instructions. And that tripped me up the first time. And I also like kind of made them spontaneously and had some whole wheat flour in my starter at the time. You can't use any whole wheat. You gotta go
white
with
wheat.
like a white flour. I use like a 00 Italian flour that we get here, and that was the real difference. You had to follow the instructions and you had to use white flour.
Good
and
tips.
Then they came out yummy.
I'm taking a croissant class in a few weeks, actually, and I also have I used to bake a few years ago and like bring in cookies and cakes when I worked in an office, and yeah, like I just like winging and freestyling it, and that doesn't really work with baking.
I know, especially croissants. Like some muffins, you can freestyle a bit. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you may notice a different water bottle in my hand than my usual green one. This is my summer water bottle. Like, it's a little fatter. It's got some more ounces. There's some more ounces in here. The Tel Aviv heat is here, my friends.
It's got a straw. I've got my Stanley. Have you seen all the accessories that people put on these things with like a backpack and then like snacks and things? And someone in the comments was like, are you coming back from the walk that you're going on? Because I feel like you don't need all of those things.
Yeah. I did actually, by the way, over Passover, because I put so many like minerals, electrolyte powders and stuff in my water bottles. They're not kosher for Passover. So I had to buy a new water bottle when I was in the States for Passover. And I got like a straw one. I don't get the hype. Not
no,
for
I do
me.
have to clean it. And all my lip gloss that I put on, like I do have to clean it daily. You do have to clean these things out often. Like, don't be disgusting.
I also didn't like the experience of the straw. Like, I don't know. Is yours plastic, your straw?
It is. Otherwise, like, I need to see through it because you never know what's going to be in there. And I don't want a metal one because intrusive thoughts and walking.
Right. I wouldn't walk with that, I guess. But I do walk with my, like, Yetis with a metal straw. I'm living on the edge.
She's daring.
Yeah, I don't know. This Yeti straw water bottle, it's old school, but I'm like that. I'm old school.
This one, because when I'm training at the gym, I want to be able to just
glug it. Yeah, Donnie has that one.
But there are too many nooks. Anyhow.
So many crannies. We were actually joking. He was cleaning it the other day, and we were joking about how funny it is if you separate nooks and crannies. Just a lot of crannies.
Too many.
A lot of crannies in that water bottle.
Well, do you put your protein coffee in there?
Oh, okay. Let me tell you.
Or a mason jar.
Yeah, the other big thing I've been consuming around here is protein coffee. And this is because on the go with 3 kids, trying to be a mom, live life out here, run a business, it's just getting hard. It's getting hard to get the amount of protein that this growing gal needs. Because I've been training really hard lately, which has felt really good and been really fun. But I just need more protein. So I have been really relying on whey protein powder lately, and we've talked about this on previous episodes. You can go back and listen to some of our like blood sugar episodes. I think we talked about it a lot in some of our prenatal nutrition episodes. But there are seasons where whey protein powder becomes really important.
Yeah. And if you're not eating cottage cheese, like
how am I supposed to get all that extra protein? I can't just be cooking all the time.
You're gonna have to be blending chicken breast like that one girl said on TikTok.
Yeah. So I consume 3 big meals of animal protein, but then I've been relying on a pre-breakfast beverage with whey protein in it. And I put whey protein in my coffee and I kind of sip on it like during my training session and then after while I'm picking up my kids. And that's been lovely. I do a double shot of espresso. And then in my frother, we've talked about this on like episodes of our favorite gadgets. Didn't we do an episode?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Like wellness stuff worth the hype. Yeah.
So my Breville electric frother that I love, I do my raw milk in there with basically like almost 30 grams of protein. It's like 2 scoops of the whey that I've been using and some maple syrup. Blend that up, pour it over ice, pour in that double shot of espresso. It's creamy, delicious, and it is a really good amount of complete animal protein.
That sounds good. I like it. I love it. I used to call it like my version of the frappuccinos they have at Starbucks, but I would have a frozen banana and do a couple espresso shots, and it was yummy.
Do a couple espresso shots?
Yeah, do some shots, get an energy drink, and just really go hard at the gym. No, not
Love
those.
it.
I would see sounds. There's no way I could have that much caffeine.
Yeah.
I'm in my matcha or Earl Grey with cream era.
Earl Grey with cream.
Yes.
How English of
with
you.
my
Or is
pink
that
tea.
milk? Yeah.
It is. Yeah, they do milk or cream. I think it's milk usually. I don't know. I ask my dad. They're going to England again soon. Well, tell me about this pizza too. So I see a pizza on here, and meat pizza, which is not something that Adina usually eats. So I want to know what that looks like for you.
Again, it's going back to the protein thing. Like, pizza is so yummy, but my kosher girlies out there know that like you just can't get enough protein with a dairy pizza because it's just cheese and like how much cheese can you really eat? You know, don't answer that.
I'll show you.
So some nights what I've been doing is I take my sourdough pizza crust, and instead of going sauce and cheese, I make like a barbecue-y sauce. So basically I'll mix like tomato sauce with some coconut aminos, some brown sugar, a little honey, some maybe sriracha, make it a little spicy, you know.
Ooh.
Some garlic pow.
Do the kids get down with a spicy pizza? Many probably.
Yeah, totally. And I'll make it like a barbecue sauce on there, and then I just do ground beef.
So no
Ground
cheese.
beef.
So it's like
No cheese.
Okay.
I guess it's more of a flatbread than it is a pizza, but yummy nonetheless.
Are you curious what it would be like with cheese? Do you wonder?
But it's not a flavor that I crave because it's something that's been so separate my whole life.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you excited to grill it up? Well, I think you were grilling it before, but Adina got a grill, and if you saw my story, I really want a second
Diane's
grill.
gonna get the same grill as me.
And Adina was showing me on
she
FaceTime.
is.
It looks amazing.
Yes, you guys may have been here about a year ago when I talked about how it was mine and Donnie's 10th anniversary, our wedding anniversary, and we were deciding about an outdoor cooking apparatus as our present to ourselves. And we just couldn't make a decision. And I was leaning towards like a Komodo style grill, like the Green Egg, or a Traeger, something for smoking. But at the end of the day, you just need a gas grill in your arsenal.
Something that goes hot, fast, right?
Yeah, like if I had a backyard and I could have multiple cooking apparatuses, I would have a gas grill, I would have a Green Egg, and eventually
And a
that would be my
Blackstone.
life.
That's what someone in my DM
Pizza
said
oven,
I need.
you know.
That too.
Eventually that will be my life. But right now it was like we needed a thing that can multitask, and we need a thing that gets really hot really quickly and is really easy to turn on and clean and all the stuff. So we landed on a Napoleon gas grill, and specifically we got the Phantom Prestige 500, I believe.
Wow. That sounds intense.
Yeah.
You're going to be a
I
grill
watched a lot
master.
of videos, you guys. I watched a lot of videos before I made this decision because
Something
I
about
am
Adina,
a research girly.
You do. Like when I was buying my MacBook, you were like, listen, I've watched all the videos so I can
Yes.
trust.
I cannot make a decision until I like dedicate a specific amount of time to going down the research rabbit hole that I want to go down. And then I'm there. I can make the decision, and then I can help you make the decision.
Yes.
So let me tell you why we love this grill. Now I'm like, call up Napoleon.
We're going to give away a grill at the
sponsor
end of
us.
this episode,
Yeah.
actually.
That's not the surprise.
Sorry.
Anyways, the reason we decided on this one is great gas grill, heats up real quick. It also has a rotisserie, which you know how we love our rotisserie chicky. And so it has like a rotisserie thing and like a motorized rotisserie turner, and then like a burner on the back that's like super hot and gets super hot real quick and rotisses
This makes
the
me
chicky.
horny.
Yeah. And then on the left, it has like this ceramic intense sear burner that gets to a bazillion degrees. I think it's like 1800 degrees in like seconds, and it's for searing steaks and such. So I'm very excited about it.
Tell them about the drumstick holes.
Yeah.
Or like, do other people get excited about this? There are a few chef pals that follow me, and I know they're really into this. But yeah, we all like good food here, so I think we're.
It has a cute little shelf where you can like click in all these drumsticks in front of the rotisserie. And I'm so excited about it. And Donnie was like, we were talking about if it's a business expense or not, and I was like, I guess I need to become like a grilling vlogger now. So
yeah,
that I
just
can
put up a couple of
expense it.
reels of you toiling away over your grill. I love this for you. I can't wait to see what you whip up. And I was telling Neil, I was like, we missed the
Well,
Memorial
now we
Day
talked about it on the
sales.
podcast, so maybe it is a business expense.
I think so. Yeah, write it all off. And I was like, we missed the Memorial Day sales, so for Father's Day, can I get a grill? Like that's probably the next like sales, right? And Neil's like, we have the
that's
big
your
green
Father's
egg.
Day present.
I'm like, listen, on hair wash day, or when it's not hair wash day, I want to be able to just turn on the grill and do some steaks. That's it.
Wait. Oh my gosh. I didn't even tell you guys the best part. So when I was talking about multitasking with this grill, you can take out like a whole side of the burner and put a charcoal pan in, and then you can light the charcoal with the gas grill and then shut it off, and then you have a charcoal grill.
Oh, we like that.
So it's multi-purpose.
Our green egg can oven and it can smoke and grill, but yeah, it doesn't have the gas hookup. And
it takes
burping is
time.
scary. Yeah.
It takes time to warm up.
That's so exciting, and happy anniversary to you. You're very low key with your milestones. Like, oh, it's our 10th anniversary. Oh, yeah, it was my birthday or something. And I'm like so loud about it all month long. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, in 20 days,
it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a celebration. So good stuff. And your mouth is perhaps watering now. Maybe we'll link some of these things in the show notes for you as we do. But on the media front, we definitely have had plenty, and we've had some overlap. So let's start there. Hacks season 3 is up on HBO Max.
So good.
It's
oh my God.
so funny.
I'm loving it.
I love the banter. I love Ava. And
I love her.
They're a good duo. But I was surprised that they came back for a third, because I don't know why I thought that they were done after the second. Like, it would have wrapped up nicely. And so I worried like that it would just kind of go downhill after a couple seasons. But no, the writing still stands up.
I love yeah, oh wait, hold on, let me say one thing, because this is what I've been thinking about a lot with this season. I think if you haven't watched Hacks start from the beginning, it's delightful, just like so fun. We talked about it on a few seasons of the podcast, but the thing I'm loving right now is I feel like both the characters have had such good arcs, and like their relationship has such a good arc too. I think it's really fun, the like old school comedy and new school comedy, and even the personalities that come with that. Like, I think it's fun that the show's not trying to be something like we are woke or we are, it's like, here is this person that is this stereotypical woke Hollywood writer currently, and then
Millennial,
this historical, pretty conservative figure with a few exceptions, and the way that they kind of like are seeing each other, and the way that they're both kind of like the way they love each other for who they are and are just trying to be good people at this point. Like, I think it's some of those episodes where Ava's kind of like questioning her wokeness and looking it in the face have been really delightful.
Yeah, I like seeing how their relationships evolved and getting back together over was it the Tom Cruise coconut cake? I was like, oh, that sounds really, really good.
Apparently that's a real thing, by the way.
He sends people coconut cake. Oh,
yeah, I think it's like a real like fun fact in Hollywood.
Is it a Scientology cake?
It might be.
Speaking of cults, I just started this, and I wonder if I know Donnie dabbles in some of these like 3-part docuseries on Netflix. I watched one about Ashley Madison, the cheating dating site, which was a ride, and I don't know how some of these couples consented to airing all their dirty laundry, so there was that. But I just started Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, where there were these TikTok dancers in like 2019, 2020, and they ostracized themselves from their
TikTok
family.
Come out?
Like 2019, but it was Musically first, and I remember Neil.
Right, Musically. Oh, the youths.
Yeah,
I remember
it was
my
like all
nieces
dancing.
and nephews like dancing on there and being like, "What is happening?"
Well, I remember like early 2020, Neil and I were in Costa Rica, and he's like, "You should get on this. I think this app's gonna blow up." And I was like,
"Look at
no."
Neil.
Yeah, he
Look
should
at
be
foresight.
He's now my manager. But yeah, so they were dancing on TikTok, and some people get swept up in this church/management company cult. So,
oh no.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting, and I can see some of their accounts still live. So I'm wondering how that unfolds. So dabbled with that, but otherwise, honestly, I haven't been watching many movies. I've been watching Barefoot Contessa's Backlog on HBO Max. There are like 15 seasons on there, folks, and it's like, you know how cozy Food Network shows were, and she's just, I want her to be my mother.
Sweet.
I wonder if she's open to, but she's just so great and so soothing, and she's always like, and who wouldn't like that? Let's put more cheese on it. Who wouldn't like that?
Oh, it's delightful. Especially summertime's Hamptons, like, let's go.
And she's always, what I love is like in every episode, she's either cooking for Jeffrey, her husband, who I don't think lives with her, but like they're always going on these adventures and they look very much in love. Like they're always like making out and they're just so cute, you know? Or she's like, my friends are coming back from vacation and they don't have anything in their fridge, so I'm going to make them a cozy meal. And you know what the cozy meal is? A tray of truffle mac and cheese and a cake and like honey butter to go with the loaf of bread she got them.
She is the sweetest. Love the way she cares for her friends.
An angel. An angel. Did you grow up watching her or anyone else on Food Network?
Yeah, of course. We've definitely
Who's your
talked about this
fave?
before.
Who's your least fave? Mine's Giada.
Yeah, duh. Everyone knows that.
It's my choice.
Yeah. Yep.
I also like Gordon.
Yes, but that's different.
Yeah.
A very different vibe.
Yeah.
I grew up, I mean, is it called growing up when it was like 5 years ago?
I'm still growing up.
We are always growing up. I love the kitchen that like, it's more of it feels like daytime talk show kind of vibes, but they're all like cooking together and they're a cute little family, you know?
Is this a specific family or is this a vibe?
No. They're like all Food Network chefs, but it's called The Kitchen. And like, you know, it's like Katie Lee and Jeffrey Zakarian and...
No, I
Jeff
guess I was in
Morrow.
like Iron Chef and Emerald and...
those were too like stressy for me. Like, I used to get down with the like competition ones, and then I was like, I just want this to wash over me and be relaxing, you know?
Yeah, definitely in my soft life Barefoot Contessa era right now.
With your quilt behind you.
With my quilt. Oh yeah, it's so and tell. The YouTube girlies get to see. Oh my gosh. Well, since we last recorded, I made a purse, like a bag that I brought to Japan, of course. But I'm almost done with a quilt, and I said in my story, I guess... Oh, and there's Doug.
You revealed Doug.
Doug!
Magic trick.
He's itchy, and that's my sweatshirt because it's like his cozy comfort sweatshirt. Yeah, hi. So I realized that I chose like a muted GYST palette for this quilt. And
It's actually gorgeous. Like the colors are amazing.
Girl, it's not actually. You know it's going to be cute. You know it's
No,
gonna
I
be
just
cute.
mean the colors specifically are so gorgeous. Like, should we change our palette?
I love it. And the colors aren't coming up true on my super amazing advanced webcam on my Mac, but yeah, I'll post pictures when it's done. I gotta quilt it and do the back, but I'm really liking the modern designs. Ooh. So it's almost done.
So cute.
Show and tell. You know there's show and tell.
I wish I had something to sew and tell.
You have a lot of exciting things, but tell me about other stuff you've been watching, because I know you were getting into like rom-coms a little bit.
Okay. Yes, we went down the rom-com hole. We did Idea of You. You watched that one, right?
With Annie
No,
Hathaway.
you watched yeah, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, great.
And I guess it's a book that sucks, but people were saying the movie
Yes.
was entertaining.
I thought the movie was delightful.
I want bangs now, so
Yeah, I thought it was delightful. It wasn't funny. Was it supposed to be funny?
it was rom, not much on the com, and that's a
No.
fun trope. Like she gets with her daughter's favorite boy band lead singer. Yeah,
I would give a little feedback.
please.
Just a bit.
It wasn't very good.
No. I loved it. I thought it was delightful. It was exactly what I needed at the time that I watched it.
It was what
I
you
was-
expected it to be, right?
Yes. Why? There was two things. Number one, why wasn't her daughter more like, what? Like she just kind of accepted the information, you know? Like,
Wasn't she
That
kind of
was
mad
one.
at first?
no, she was just like, of course this is happening. Like she wasn't very surprised. And then the other thing was, I feel like I didn't believe that the character would do that. Like they didn't give me much on the character. It was like,
It's just kind of thrown in there. Like they run into each other outside the bathroom, and he has to
oh,
find
so
her.
that stuff was fine, whatever. But then like she was like, no, I'm not into this. And then she just like showed up in New York, or you know what I mean? Like I didn't really, I thought that whole part was a dream sequence at first, because I was like,
It's all
Nobody-
vibes.
nobody made me feel like this character was going to do this,
No,
you know?
no, it's all vibes. I think it had pretty bad reviews, but I'm really liking Anne Hathaway right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I always have, but I feel like she's having another moment. And have you seen all those videos of her like calma, when she's talking to paparazzi and like trying to get them to chill out?
What's your Anne Hathaway, like if you think of Anne Hathaway, what's the movie you think of?
Princess Diaries.
Yeah. So
Princess
like
Diaries.
mine's kind of Devil Wears Prada though. And then I
that
have to
too.
be like, oh wait, Princess Diaries, you know?
And maybe it's because I'm reading like a terrible, or I just finished it. Like it's a half star. I should have DNF'd it. Like, do not finish this book. And it was kind of like based
I
on the
could have
premise.
guessed what DNF was.
Someone was like, "Do not fuck with," and I was like, "Yeah, that works too."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not finish this.
Similar tropes, but yeah, Princess Diaries, and then I'd say Devil Wears Prada. Those are the, I don't know what other movies has she done.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like I think of her as a movie star, but I'm like, I had to like look at her credits and be like, there aren't that many.
Yeah, those are the movies.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the two. But then in the rom-com, more com than rom, we also did Anyone But You. Did you watch it?
With Sydney
Oh, you
Sweeney
did.
and
We
her
were
boobs.
talking about Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
Like, can I not say that? But it was definitely like every outfit I was like, oh, there they are.
Yeah, no. So Donnie sent me this really interesting article about how Sydney Sweeney is making people's heads explode because it was like our whole culture shifted into this wokeness of like, we don't want traditional beauty standards. And then Sydney Sweeney came on the scene. It was like, oh, wait, we really like that.
Oh, we really liked that. And all I really, I mean, going into this movie, I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. But there was so much marketing around it. Like, I almost feel like there's more budget around, like, did they or didn't they sleep together and brew in and blow up their relationships outside of the movie?
Yeah.
And then the movie was just kind of silly. And they're hot. Like, everyone's hot. We get in the movie. Like,
I really liked that. I liked the Australian, like, the ex-girlfriend's boyfriend. He was so silly and funny.
And Paxton HY was also in it.
Yeah, he was bad. Did not like that at all. Yeah,
it's just silly. We've been watching 90s like comfort rom-com. So 10 Things I Hate About You, because one of my favorites. Next is She's All That I want to watch. And Neil has never seen Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet.
Oh wow.
And that's one of my favorites ever. Like, I still think of the aquarium scene. And can't wait to watch that again.
Yeah, we did a bunch of rewatches as well. We also, if you need another rom-com of the same vein, we did Upgrade. Is it Upgraded or Upgrade? Upgrade.
Is that with the Tom Hardy looking boy?
With Camila Mendes.
Is she a singer?
It's not good, but it is an enjoyable watch.
Why do I feel like there are so many things called Upgrade? Doug sounds like a coffee pot, sorry.
Because you're thinking about Upload, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's possible. Is this a sci-fi? Did you watch a sci-fi?
No, it's a rom-com. Is it Upgraded, maybe?
I'm looking at Upgrade with the guy that looks like Tom Hardy, but he's like a Temu Tom Hardy.
No, it's Upgrade. Cami Mendes?
Okay, I see it now.
You see?
Oh, I was thinking of something very different.
No, it's just like a silly rom-com.
I was like, what's Adina doing watching sci-fi?
No, it's akin to Devil Wears Prada. It's like, mean boss, and she's trying to make it in the art world, and she gets upgraded on her flight, and then the person she sits next to thinks she's the art director. Or
Is she an art gallery curator like they are in so many rom-coms?
Yes, exactly. And it's just fun. It's dumb, and, the plot doesn't really need to plot, but it's
we got Marissa
fun.
Tomei. I love her.
Yeah. You should watch it. It's fun.
Okay, I will. Oh, well, yeah. I really thought, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a new era for Adina watching sci-fi. Because like the only other thing I have, like I didn't have many movies from the past, like however many months since we were last on. I think I'm on book 28 of the year so far. And I'm trying to bully all my friends into reading the Red Rising series, that dystopian series I mentioned, the third book. Like, I know that they have been signed on to a streaming service and it's been in the works, and people are like, is it HBO or Apple? Because if they get HBO money for this sci-fi show, oh man, is it gonna be good. Like, I've never been so invested in the arcs of all these. It's so good.
Yeah. Okay, I have two other things that I really need to talk about because they've been very, very important and influential in my media consumption over the last few months. So when everything was extremely stressy here, so we don't have to like get into all the details, but those of you who are following along on Instagram know that
It's been stressy.
I was many times running into bomb shelters with my children in the wee hours of the night, and it was exhausting and draining and stressful, and the nervous system was not okay.
That's a lot of cardio in many ways.
Yeah, we just needed comfort around here. And something that now has a very warm place in my heart because it felt so good to watch it was, first of all, Red Oaks, which is this series that I feel like just went unnoticed.
Yeah, I've not heard of it at all. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, it was from a few years ago, and it takes place in a Jewish country club in the 80s, and it's like these kids are all off from school and they're working at the country club over the summer, and it is so delightful. Like, if you need just like, it will make you laugh, short episodes, such a fun world to live in for the summer, you know.
Is there singing?
It was no singing, but it was just such fun kids to get to know, and like I loved it. Ooh. Loved it. Highly recommend. If you need a series that just like, you know, snuggles you, cozy and is fun to watch. Yeah. So good. The writing's good, the acting's good. Like, it's fun.
How did you find this? Was this just a random like Amazon Prime?
I think my brother had watched it a few years ago and had mentioned it to me, and then had mentioned it to Donnie, and Donnie was like, "Oh, this is kind of the vibe," and we just never watched it, and then we did, and it was so good.
Cute. And it's like, yeah, what a timely summer watch.
Yeah, so cute. Watch it. Let me know what you think. And then the other one, that this is so niche. It's so incredibly niche. And like, I haven't found other people. I haven't found other people to talk to about it. So if you're listening to this episode and you loved this movie, please DM me, because I need to talk to people about it. I think it's a perfect film. Theater Camp.
Oh, this probably has singing. It has Ben Platt in it.
Yes. Ben Platt and his fiance Noah, who are literally amazing in this movie. And then their best friend from growing up. And it's just like so funny and silly and cute and perfect. And if you grew up going to camp, like, oh my God, if you like musicals and you grew up going to camp, this is for you. So it is not for Diane in any way.
No.
But man, and Ayo Edebiri is also
the girl from Chef.
She is, yeah, from The Bear.
The Bear. Yeah. Well, I said chef because I just imagine her as Yes Chef.
Yeah, she's having a moment also. We did watch another movie with her in it, Bottoms. Did you watch that one?
No, but I heard it was really good.
Yeah. Well, we watched a lot, I guess.
Yeah,
but
so. Let's see your letterbox.
Yeah, oh my God.
Or Donnie's letterbox.
Yeah, Donnie's. Theater Camp. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. Like, we rewatched it probably 7 times in a span of like 2 weeks.
Oh wow, you really liked it.
It just like, it was the timing. It was so delightful. I was so stressed out. It just washed over me and was like, really made me laugh.
Yeah, we love those comfort watches, and I think that's why I'm just into like 90s rom-coms, but I have to have something I'm doing. Like, it's hard for me to just sit there and watch something, so I've been doing embroidery. That's another, like, I need another hobby. Like, I need another hole in my head. But here we are. I was doing like a little plant embroidery. So it's either that or I'm reading, to be honest.
Do you like all the reels I send you about?
Yeah. It was like, what was it? Like, I want to be like a feminist girly, or like, but I'm like, have all these 1800s housewife hobbies.
Yeah, I'm like just baking bread all day. And like,
yeah.
So
and I'm a girl boss girl. I'm girl bossing.
Yeah.
I just like the crafts. I'm 80 years old, but also like 18 at the same time.
Crafting is good stuff.
Yeah. So those are some big highlights. And I mean, this episode we thought we would just like have a chatty catch up because we miss everybody so much and miss shooting the shit. But on the life side, like, what's been lighting you up other than theater camp?
I think that's pretty much it.
The beach?
Been
because in the group chat, it's like, look at the beach. Look at this beach.
I've just been going to the beach, hanging out with my kids.
You've been beaching off?
Beaching, baking, just, you know, living life, getting by, trying to spend as little time on social media as I can. Mm-hmm. Trying to serve up my community and my ladies, watch everyone get really strong. That's been really fun.
Yeah, I would be there all day, every day, if I could walk blocks to the beach.
Yeah, that's really what I do. Except Ori is getting a little bit more difficult. He basically is nuts.
The youngest child through and through.
Yes, so opinionated, so nutty. And so it is, I mean, we've been on the phone before when I'm walking with him on the beach and you hear him just like shouting.
He's like, I want to throw your metal water bottle.
Yeah. And just like anytime he sees a ball, he's like, his new thing now is also he's obsessed with his own shadow. It's so cute. So like anytime, yeah, we see the shadow, he's just like, shadow. And like he has to wave to it and like try to touch it and wave to my shadow. It's really pretty cute. He did also just find out what cookies are. Mm-hmm. And he calls them kooky. kooky.
And you make
So
some
that's
pretty
been
good ones. And he's been
really
on a
fun.
couple of trips already. Like you've been doing some travel too.
Yeah, it's been nuts. We went to the States for, once you move out of the States, you call them the States.
The States.
We went to the States for Passover, and that was great. If you've been here a while and heard me talk about our Passover trips, just delightful. And while we were there, we did an in-person meetup for the STHH Club, which was so fun.
Yeah,
It's just amazing. Like, yeah, all these women are training in their own living rooms in their PJs, and then we get them together and we get to like just
and you
feel
had
that
snacks.
in-person
Like I saw
energy.
what you were planning on setting out for everyone. Like that they're not going to go there and have like, I don't know, Pop-Tarts and I don't know what
Monster energy drinks.
Yeah.
I made herby egg salad and sourdough crackers. We had some fruit, and we put out like cold brew and matcha and all the milks. It was just so fun.
Yeah, you should do it again.
Someone just started playing music. Can you hear it?
No, I just hear Doug snoring, and it is what it is.
It is what it is. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that you had that meetup like a week or not long after we got back from Japan. I'm like, I really want to get out there. It was a big trip to recover from. It
was really fun. So nice.
That's our main highlight over here is that 3 weeks. And if anyone's planning a trip out there and you would like my Google Maps, I can share it with you, but highly recommend it. And I mean, it was well worth for us, the investment of the tour and like them taking care of so much, because we really didn't have to think about anything. Definitely plan on bringing an extra suitcase. But some like quick highlights for me: best toilets ever anywhere. And
that's the highlight.
I knew.
Wait, did I send you that museum? You missed
the
it.
poop museum. I think a couple people did, and I didn't get to go there. I mean, there's so many, like we barely scratched the surface, and we were in Tokyo twice while we were there. There were a few museums we wanted to get to, but next time we'll have to go. And I had heard this, right, about bidet and like how advanced Japanese toilets are, but not only how like they have all the buttons, right? Like you've got the bidet, but then there's like a heated option and a fan, and there's like a privacy music or a noise button, so you can press
you're
it.
blowing out the bathroom.
Yeah, which then I'm like, okay, so people are just going to hear a loud bird song or music and just know that you're blowing it out, but like they won't hear.
They'd probably hear the bird song and also the farts, I feel like.
But their stalls too would usually be floor to ceiling, and I guess the toilets were nicer than any toilet that I've seen here, and this is like one in the subway, for instance, which also blew me away, is just how clean everything is, and that there were free clean bathrooms in the subway. Like, could you imagine in New York?
Could never.
Like, well, yeah, we can't have anything nice. And that was another thing too we love, was just how nice everyone was, and that everybody takes responsibility for their trash. There weren't many trash cans publicly that we noticed, and someone did give me the tip that you should bring like a little bag that you keep in your bag for any trash, because there weren't many, but people just really respect their public spaces and etiquette, like getting to the right side of an escalator so that people can walk up on the side. Everyone was so nice. And I don't know if it was like the Virgo like manners in me, like preference for me, that I'm like, I love it here.
How did you feel when you were here? It's like the opposite.
In New
here.
York?
It's like,
In New York?
no, in Tel Aviv.
And what actually Tel Aviv, as far as like dirty or like, it wasn't. I didn't think it was. I thought it was a nice place. Like LA.
No, it is. People here are just like real rude, but they love you and they care about you. It's
Yeah,
just,
like the Uber or
just
the
rude.
What's the Uber that you have there? Get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember like I made them wait a couple minutes, and they were like really mad at me.
Yeah, the customer is always wrong.
Yeah. Whereas in Japan, like if they're apologizing, like saying like thank you constantly. It's just it was different. I'd say, like as far as like beachside cities, like I don't like going to LA, like where you're gonna go to this expensive brunch place and then see someone shitting on a sidewalk. Like that's just not for me.
Yeah, New York's like that too.
You never know what you're gonna see.
Did I ever tell that story about when that person was peeing on our car? I feel like no.
No?
No. If that's your reaction, the answer is no. We lived in it was like a weird neighborhood when we were living on the Upper West Side, because it was like there's a few really nice buildings, but then also it was on the same street as this church that had like a full menu of AA meetings, NA meetings, and there was like a halfway house around the corner. It was just like a little dicey, the area. And we were once walking to our car that was parked a few streets over, and like as we're walking, we see someone kind of like stumbling in front of us. And we're like, oh, he's getting really close to our car. And then we're like, oh, he's peeing on our car.
It's like soaking handles, or like
just kept walking and pretending that it wasn't our car. And then like,
excuse me, sir, can I get in here?
New York is fun.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I haven't had that here. So yeah, the main highlight for me is just a life highlight has been Japan and sewing and wanting to go back to Japan. Like Neil's learning Japanese before we went there, and he's like, I just want to go back. The hot springs, I thought of you and thought you'd like this. At the hot springs ryokan that we stayed at, there was a ice cream machine in the lobby and a milk vending machine like in the locker room. So it's separated. So you go in the hot spring nude, and like, so it's separate, and you can't have tattoos and all that. And the hot spring, like you're looking out into the mountain, just sitting naked in this hot spring. And afterwards you go shower up, and there's a milk vending machine, and they encourage you to drink milk after you go in the hot spring, or you go into the lobby and there's a free vending machine of ice cream.
So good.
So like, take something sweet.
That's what you need.
Afterwards with milk. Cow milk.
That's what you need. Sounds delightful.
Yeah, so those are the highlights. And you told us a little bit about some work highlights of the event. What else has been new over there since we last caught up on the biz front?
Yeah, so I mean, things have been pretty similar, but just like growing, getting better. Basically, STHH is alive and well, and many more women have gone through the doors, and it's so fun. And then really what we've put our major focus on this year has been the STHH Club and getting even better programming in there and just building the community. And it's really been a season of like teaching the women in there how to train. And with each passing training block, it's like so fun to see that learning take place, and like the anticipation for the new training block, and how everyone's showing up for themselves and hyping each other up, and all the accountability in there. It's just been so fun. And honestly, it's helping me too, because I was in a season with everything going on here where it was so hard to prioritize training, and just seeing this entire community of women, and I get so overwhelmed thinking about it, like just women asking for kettlebells for their birthdays and for Mother's Day, and like that is just, what a world, you know? Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. And Coach Veronica, Coach V, has been awesome in there. I know, like,
she's the best
with the live calls. And during that season when your time was really, really unpredictable with everything going on, like, I'm glad that you had that support, and she's just so great.
I love her. Just a really rare gem, Coach V. And when we were coaching together in person at the STHH Club in-person event at my parents' house, I texted her after, and I was just like, every time we coach together in person, I just like can't get over what a perfect fit this is.
Yeah.
Like, I just love her so much, and it's just we're building something really magical. Like, the community is just growing and thriving, and all of these women are just getting better and better at training, getting strong, showing up for each other, showing up for themselves. Like, there's been some great conversations in there recently of like people looking for support, and the way that everyone shows up to just lift them up, it's just awesome. It's like, man, I couldn't have dreamed of this. So
yeah. And I can't remember, like, did you have the membership when we were recording last summer?
So I did have I had the STHH membership. I've had that for a couple of years, but
not the circle community.
Yes, that started in June. We were actually just talking about how this is going to be the 1-year anniversary. We want to do something special.
Ooh, fun.
But yeah, it's just been really, really incredible. And the goal is to just keep pouring into that, keep watching it grow, keep figuring out how to show up a little bit better for those women every day, and get them to show up for themselves. So that's been amazing. And then the other big thing going on is we are currently in pre-sale for the Postpartum program. Awesome. It is finally coming. It is dropping the first week in July. So it's on a steep pre-sale price right now. So if you are a person who is coming up on a postpartum season and you would like a program to take you from your bed to being able to run and jump and lift heavy and chase after your kid and feel like without peeing and feeling like the most capable and athletic mother that you can be to your child, that is going to be incredible. And we are working really hard on, we have a few goals for this program, which is why we are pouring so much into it. But our goal is for it to be the most approachable postpartum program that still gets you from your bed feeling like a disconnected sack of potatoes to feeling like an athlete and a capable, strong mom. So
and you have in the
we're trying.
You have in the outline, after you pop one out, it says.
Where did I write that?
I'm looking here. It says,
"Oh yeah,
this program gets you back to feeling like an athlete after you pop one out."
Yeah. So yeah, don't be dumb and just try to like run and jump immediately, and don't be dumber and think that you're supposed to just like stay on your mat and do your rehab exercises for the rest of your life. So,
oh ma'am. So okay, question. So
yeah,
do people have to go through STHH training for happy hormones and then do this postpartum program, or could someone just jump in? Like someone who's pregnant now, or who's like, you know what, I'm gonna be pregnant the next year or so, and I want to grab this program right now.
Do that. Yeah, the pre-sale is pretty steep. Like you won't see this price ever again. And what we are doing is act now. What we are doing is basically STHH and STHH postpartum leave you off in the same place. So you could join the club and start from level 1 after finishing either program. So those will both be prereqs, one or the other, for joining the club. So you could be brand new to lifting, have never trained with us, and you can go through STHH postpartum, and it'll teach you everything you need to know and get you back to feeling like your old self. Our objective is... There are so many programs on the market that are like really steeped in bounce back culture and
get your body back.
Get your body back, lose the weight. And this is all about gaining capabilities. And so
that's awesome.
It's going to be good. We're going to be strong, capable mamas.
So, and then for your membership for STHH Club, is there going to be a postpartum track in that after they do this foundational like postpartum program? I'm asking the questions that I imagine they're, and I'm sure you're going to talk about it in future episodes, but
yeah,
I'm sure there's something.
Yeah, so that piece, currently there is postpartum programming in that. So we're still not sure how to handle it, because if people don't go through the postpartum program, they still want to hang out in the postpartum track of STHH. Ultimately, there won't be a postpartum, like an early postpartum track in the STHH club. It'll just be you go through the postpartum self-paced program, and then you join us in the club for level 1, level 2, you know, whatever that looks like. Yeah, but for now, there still is that if you've done STHH and you want to do that programming inside of the club, you're welcome to do that.
That's awesome. Well, I know you've been talking about this for a while, so I'm really excited for the ladies that are going to get to go through it. Cool stuff. So
yeah, me too.
All the info in the show notes. Over here, much of the same as what I was doing last summer when we were recording HTMA reviews, the hair tissue mineral analysis. That's the hair test.
They're selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, the girls have been snatching them up this spring doing their DIY haircuts for this. But I've been loving this done for you package, especially for women who go through my root cause reset course. That's where most of my clients start, whether they're kind of new to things or they've been through it for a while. And it's really especially popular among my alumni, but also ladies in their preconception phase. They're thinking about catching a baby soon, and or clients who want to look a little bit deeper. And the feedback has been great, because in this done for you package, like we don't have a consult in this package. In this done for you package, we do the test and you walk away knowing what your results mean. I'm not just like, everything looks good, and you're like, what does all this even mean?
You're not a doctor.
Yeah. Like, what does this mean? So they get a Spark Notes doc and then also walk away with a plan for their next few months for them to focus on based on their intake, based on their results. And women are really liking having that clarity and just streamlining things in it. We're able to audit their current routine, get rid of supplement subscriptions that people don't need, and just really connect the dots. And one of my clients that I got her list of questions that she submitted after seeing her review. She was like, I've been to many practitioners over the last 8 to 10 years, troubleshooting some autoimmune stuff she was going through and some other thyroid and hormone health. And she's like, this is the first time I felt like it validated where I was, but also like told me why it was happening and like clearly how to get out of it in an approachable way. And I think being able to see that data, what your health has been doing for the last 3 months, and then what you can do in the next 3 really shows people like how they can do this in a digestible way and just really like validate the way that they're feeling and have practical steps. So that's really been one of my favorite things to work on lately.
If you're curious about the HTMA, we did an entire episode about why we love this test, so you can go back and listen to that one.
Yes, I'm loving it.
Just book your HTMA review.
Yeah, and as far as this summer too, we still have Root Cause Reset. That's my self-study course, and since we last recorded, did a group cohort, and funny enough, like I'd say a few of the women in there were international ladies, so finding a time for our group calls was interesting. We had someone join from Germany and from the UK, and also through self-study, I've had some people join from Jerusalem and all over, so they're submitting questions about like, what are some alternatives that I can focus on for food or for supplements where I live, and that has been fun to support international clients some more. But I don't have coaching available right now, but self-study for the course is available, and that will show you how to level up your digestion, have more energy throughout the day and sleep through the night, and really put down a good foundation for better hormone health. Sometimes people will reach out to me and they're like, well, I don't really have gut issues. I'm like, are we sure about that? Digestion is really important.
We did an episode about that too. What was that one
Yes, a
called?
few.
That was funny. I used to be able to rattle off all our episode titles, and now I feel like I need a refresher.
Yeah, like they're all up here. We're figuring out a system.
It was
for
like
those.
I don't have gut healing. I don't have
Need gut healing in
issues
other
and
lives.
Yeah, that was it.
I don't remember the number of it, but we can put it
Yeah.
in the show notes. But yeah, sometimes people will reach out like, I have dealing with PCOS or I'm perimenopausal. Like, could I do Root Cause Reset? And I'm like, yes, do you have a body? This applies to you. And when we work on the basics, then it works out so many times, thyroid, hormone health, metabolic issues. But beyond Root Cause Reset, we're working on HTMA reviews this summer, and I've opened up some one-on-one coaching spots. This was super fun last summer, and then beginning of this year in January, I did this as well, was shorter term one-on-one coaching packages, because I realized that sometimes people are like, I don't want to do a 4 or 6 month thing all in with testing, but what I could really use is some support first trimester of pregnancy or postpartum, or I'm traveling soon and I just want to hash out some questions and my next steps without sitting in traffic going to an appointment or like commuting to a crusty office. So that's where this structure of one-on-one coaching is really
Why does
great.
it always have to be crusty?
Like, I just feel like almost every doctor's office I go to or lab, when I get lab work, like you got these 80s print like chairs and magazines from like 5 years ago, and you're like,
Yep.
I just sat in traffic to have a 5-minute appointment where they tell me that like I need to stress less and lose weight. Like, is this the best use of our time? No.
Crusty.
It's always crusty, dusty. So in these one-on-one coaching containers, we have weekly or monthly, and if you decide you want to renew and we have spots available, then we can do that. But it's been great for my first trimester clients who are like, I'm trying to figure out what I can eat and how I can deal with this progesterone bloat. Or someone was traveling and we were like figuring out things that she could do in her destination and ways to keep her results coming after we did an HTMA review. So there are a few ways we can work together, and grab a spot this summer if you have some fun travel or some things you want to hash out with an NTP in your back pocket. It's super fun.
Yeah, you can spend this summer getting strong, getting your digestion tight.
Unclench your butthole and get pooping again, all those good things. Get that regular, around the regular with your period and your poop.
Yes.
I think you were just
Those are
like,
things that we want for you.
you posted a reel and you're like, are they tired of hearing about my butthole and their butthole?
Yeah, I got some unfollows after a recent reel, and I was like, are people just like, I don't want to hear about this girl's butthole anymore.
I want to keep mine tight. And it's like,
Well,
it's not actually what you want. You want to loosen up.
Yeah, truly. Oh, you sent me that reel, right? About that. There was someone talking about
I've
her
sent you
tight
so
coochie.
many butt related memes. What was it?
It was someone talking about their tight coochie, remember?
Gorilla Grip?
I don't remember. It was like a whole... I don't remember. Anyways.
So, to celebrate our return for season 4, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We wanted to do something special to those of you who have been rocking with us for a while, or the newbies who have listened to the end and heard us talk about buttholes. Like, welcome to
Now
the
they're
show.
initiated.
Yeah, now they've been hazed. All right, to close it out, some giveaway details. To enter our giveaway, a couple things you can do it easy peasy lemon squeezy. We'll love you so much for doing it. Is to option one, screenshot this episode, share it to your public Instagram story so we can reshare it and thank you properly for sharing the love. Or if you haven't left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, we would love that so much. So you could drop us a little line about what you've been loving after you've been catching up on our 99 episodes. Or you could also tell us what you would like to hear on the episodes ahead in your review. And I know it takes a few days for those to show up, so you could screenshot it and send it to us, because also we're realizing that sometimes it's just not your name and we won't know who that is. If it's like girlypop6969 and you're like, oh, I made that a username years ago. Like,
Would it be
send it to
that?
us.
Would it ever be that?
I mean, I remember screenshotting a review to share in our story, and it was just like a completely random username, and I was like, who could this be? And I wanted to thank them because it was something like I listen every week. I don't know. And then they were like, oh, that's my review. And it was just something completely different.
I know sometimes we've read them on the pod and it's been like, who are you?
Yeah.
But yeah, do that. And we're going to give out a few prizes. So
yes, some merch,
do
some
it.
course credits or program
Yes.
credits for us. Yeah, want to drop ship some. Is that what they say? That's like
Very
eBay reselling
cute.
image. Yeah, we'll send you something cute. Ooh.
Very cute.
So 2 ways to enter. You could do one, you could do both, or you could just leave us a review because you love us and we love you.
We love you.
And sharing is
we
caring.
missed you so much. We're
Yes.
so happy to be back in your earballs. Okay.
Yeah, unclench
we
your
love
butthole.
you. Stay hydrated. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the GYST podcast. As always, your ratings and reviews mean the world to us.
If you enjoyed this episode, take a second, take a little screenshot, throw it up on your Instagram story, and tag us so we can thank you properly for sharing this show with other women that it might help.
See you next week. We love you. Bye.